Okay, awesome. Welcome to our call today, you guys. We are going to be going over niching down, identifying your personal niche in network marketing. A lot of people talk about this in branding online, but it's so important to understand, how do I convert that into network marketing? And more importantly than that, even when you know who your niche market is, how do you talk to them online? Like, what could you be doing differently? What could it look like for you? And that's why it's so important, you guys, that you do this for you. And it's going to look different to maybe your sponsor, or maybe like, I don't think she's on here, but Uy obviously has had incredible success, you guys. By the way, I have to shout her out. She accomplished Top Achievers, you guys. Top Achievers, which is the #1 flagship recognition retreat that the company runs every single year. It's a huge deal, but I will say this, it's so doable, you guys. We just followed the formula every single month, and she worked her butt off to make it happen. So it's absolutely, absolutely exciting and so incredible. So what I was going to say is, though, when she joined me, before she had this huge team and it was just her and I, she said to me, "Nah, I don't think I can do what you do because you appeal to a different kind of demographic than I do." And I was like, totally, that's fine. We're going to work it. The skills are the same, right? You guys, we talk to people, enroll people, send them a tool, add them to the group. All of that stuff's going to look the same. And so if you see like, well, in this group, it's all young girls, or it's all this or that, you make it your own, and you use the same skills and you target your demographic. So we're going to talk about this. I'm going to share my screen. Can you guys all see this? Yeah. Okay. So how to turn your niche into content, because a lot of you already know your niche. We're going to revisit it, but how to also turn it into content for your social media. What we'll go over. Okay. So we're going to talk about what is a niche. If you're like, I don't understand what a niche is, your ideal customer, if you haven't met them yet, you're going to meet them right now. And for those of you who do know your niche, or now you'll know your niche, what do you do now that you know who your niche is? And then how to balance your content ratios in terms of, how much do I talk about the products? How much do I talk about the business? How much do I talk about life and show my lifestyle on my social media? And again, be flexible. I'm going to give you like a baseline, and I know there are a lot of people that can also chime in and share as well. So what is a niche, you guys? A niche is a distinct segment of a market. So if you are wanting to promote the products, let's just talk basic. If you're wanting to promote weight loss, you're like, I'm going to promote weight loss. Okay, so you've got the full circle weight loss. What's going to be your slice of the pie in that? Is it women wanting to lose 10 pounds after having a baby? Like, that's very, very niched down. It's very specific. Is it postmenopausal women, is it college students who eat like crap? Is it single moms? Is it, and here's the other thing I want to say to you guys, it doesn't have to be you. A lot of the time in network marketing, there's nothing wrong with the niche you choose. It's whatever you are excited about and you're good at. And so it might be you. A lot of the time in network marketing, it is, because people relate to our personal story. But it might not be you. You might get fired up signing up guys who own gyms, and you're a female who doesn't own a gym, right? So like it doesn't matter what it is. You don't have to think that it's who you are. It can be who you aspire to be, absolutely. And it can be whatever it is, it's a distinct segment of that market. If it's financial freedom, that's so broad. By the way, you guys, in case you're wondering what this is, I burned my neck on my curling wand and my wrists. Like, I don't even know what's happening. I'm sick. We'll just blame it on that. So it's a distinct segment. Okay. And I'm going to share with you guys some examples. I've shared these before. I'm going to do it again. A lot of I used to work at Victoria's Secret, and obviously they have the sub brand. So this should help you really understand how important it is to have a niche. Pink, when I worked for Victoria's Secret, was the #1 fastest selling apparel brand in the history of retail. The fastest selling apparel, the fastest growing brand in the history of retail clothing was pink, Victoria's Secret pink. Why? Because they nailed their niche. They nailed their niche, you guys. This is going back like over 10 years. This is a long time ago, okay? They nailed their niche. What is their niche? So their niche is their girl, their persona, or their ideal customer. Okay, she has a face, basically. She was born in 1986. That's why you see 1986 on all of their t-shirts. She has a yellow lab, and she's from California, and she's a college student. Okay. Now, does that mean that only girls with blonde hair from California who own a lab and are born in 1986 are going to buy this product? No. Remember, at the end of the day, you guys, people aren't buying what we have because we all have the same products. We have the same products as hundreds and thousands of people throughout the globe. So why do some people go to some and others don't have people coming to them? It's this reason. It's because they've nailed their niche, and people know what to expect and what that person can do for them, what that brand can do. So this is an example. Am I like dropping out right now? It's telling me my internet's unstable. Okay, cool. Thanks. If I am, will you guys just let me know? So this is an example of like a broader, market, that like a mainstream brand that has that nailed their niche. Yes, we had girls who were 12 years and younger coming to buy products. We had women over 65 coming to buy the products, but because they knew exactly. So what that meant is this, you guys, I want you to get it. Every product, every poster, every like coupon, every email, all the marketing that they did in pink was exactly geared for this girl. Everything was filtered for her. Something that would she love it? Awesome, let's sell it. She wouldn't like this, so it's not right for pink, right? And a lot of the time I've heard this, especially in network marketing, is, well, I'm nervous. Like, what if I narrow down, then what about, because I've been enrolling like all walks of life. And at the end of the day, when we get started, any of us would be stoked to enroll anyone with a pulse and a credit card. So I get it. But the sooner you narrow down your niche and you become really clear on who you're selling to, your business is going to explode. As long as you're consistent. I mean, you could know your niche and sit in a room and do nothing, but I'm going to show you how to take action on that. So that's one example. I'm going to give you another really clear example. Lululemon, okay? Fastest growing brand these days, okay, in athletic wear from Canada. This is their ideal client, their ideal customer. Her name is Ocean. You guys, this is data. This is all data I've pulled for you. They also have a guy, and his name is Duke, but I'm going to show you the woman. So she's 32. You guys might remember me telling you this. She's 32. She's engaged. She earns $100K a year. She owns a condo. She travels. She's fashionable. She spends an hour and a half a day working out. Ocean is a woman who all women want to be. So, I mean, you can't narrow it down any more than that, right? Like we know everything about her. This is a pretend person, their ideal customer. Does that mean that, I mean, I'm not 32. I love Lululemon because I'm buying a piece of that feeling. I feel sophisticated. This woman's sophisticated. And I feel that way when I wear those clothes because they are high quality. It is something she would buy, right? So she's a smart 32-year-old woman who is well-traveled, athletically fit, with her own condo and engaged to be married. Like, whoa, that's like such a narrow part of life, right? So is this helping you guys? Like, I want to give you examples of why this is so important. If these brands are doing it and it's working, heck yeah, we are going to narrow down our very own niche and get really clear on who we're selling to. Because when we try to sell to everyone, we're literally selling to no one. Because one, it means that we're just aimlessly like announcing information over the internet of like, I do this and I do that. And it's kind of like it's just missing people because they don't know that it's actually for them, or they don't know to send you people, right? So here's some data from Lululemon Sales. So we know that Ocean is 32. If you look at the demographic of women aged between 25 and 34, that's their biggest, 34% of their sales. But have a look, you guys, their next biggest bracket of 25% of sales, and this was just in March in 2018, 25% of their revenue came from a different age bracket, up to 65 and above. They still are grabbing 4% of the market. So I know this is a lot of data. You guys know I'm such a nerd when it comes to numbers, because this is what I used to do. So when you look at that, and when you look at 30% of their sales distribution is from men. So don't freak out if you're thinking, I'm going to miss out on all these people and blah, blah, blah. That's not the point. The point is that you're so clear that people buy the feeling of the brand you choose. It's your choice. You choose to sell, okay, and share. So we clear? Is this helping? I hope this helps you guys. Like, did you even know that Lululemon's, their persona, their ideal customer was named Ocean, and that she's engaged to be married? Did you know that Pink had every single brand, you guys, it's the first thing they do. So identifying your niche, this is where you're going to want a pen and paper. This is where you're really going to start to think about, okay, who is my niche? So these are the things you want to identify: their age. What do they do for work? Are they a stay-at-home mom? Do they have a job? Do they work part-time? Like, get so clear. What industry do they work in, or have they worked in? What is their gender? What are their hobbies and activities, and their demographic? Defining your target market or niche is the single most important business decision you can make as an entrepreneur. So like I said, this is where people get really, really confused, because and in network marketing, forget to think about what am I actually selling? Like, because we have so many things we can share, right? We can share weight loss, lean muscle mass. We can share healthy aging. We can share wealth creation. What are you going to be known for? What are you really good at? And of course, you guys know I'm going to say this. If you're talking about the products, that's great. You're going to get a lot of product users. If you want to grow your income, you need to be talking about the money and the business opportunity. For those of you who saw, I went in depth, as I do occasionally in my stories, talking about my income and this business opportunity. I had so many people reach out to me. And people know they can come to me for that. People know it's what I do, and I want them to know that. So do people know what you do? If you're like, I am going to, like I said, I'm going to help mums lose 10 pounds after having a baby, or I'm going to help pregnant women have the best nutrition, whatever it is, do people know that's what you do? Do people know to come to you when they fall pregnant, or after they've had their baby, or when they want to make more money, or, whatever it is, do they know? Okay. And then this is where it gets really, really cool. So when you think of your ideal client, your ideal customer, okay, and you might need to take some time off the call later to do this, but write this down. I'm sure you could jot at least 5 bullet points down. What lights, I'm going to say her for the sake of this, what lights her up? Like, when is she so stoked? What does she love to do? Does she love to curl up with a blanket and get takeout and watch Netflix? Does she love to get out in life and go on jet skis and do, travel and have adventure? Does she like to hang out with her friends and go out on a Friday night? Does she love her job and she wants a promotion? Like, what lights them up? What do they like to do when they're not doing what they regularly do? Whether they're a stay-at-home mom, when they're not mumming, what do they like to do? Or when they're not in their job? Okay, because you know what, you guys? I'll tell you, that's going to help you go find them. That's where you need to be, because that's literally what they're doing. So you need to go find them there, right? And I know we're talking about social, but you guys know that, like, your business, you're with social media, we're fishing, okay? We're using attraction marketing, but we need to be actively networking in real life. This is not, if this is like 5% of your business, honestly, and you really have to get this. Why I haven't trained on social media, you guys, in such a long time, because we have to get away from it and learn. We're not building a virtual brand. Like, you have to get that out of your head. You're a network marketer. Okay. So what is their pleasure? Sorry, what is their pain? What keeps her up at night when she's stressed out and she's left with her thoughts at times? What stresses her out? What pains her? What pains her about her current situation? What makes her, is she pissed about something that's going on right now currently in her situation? Is it more of like an external thing? Because here's the truth: when you can get inside of her head, you're going to be speaking to these people and they're going to be like, how does she know that about me? they're going to feel so related to, like, that's exactly how I feel. This girl gets me. Okay, so I wrote here, consistently share the frustrations your ideal customer deals with and how your offer is the perfect solution to that frustration. And here's a huge question that you guys can really use as content. Do you know why they haven't joined you yet? And I'm not saying because they haven't found you on social. Let's just say now you're niching down and now you're going to really clean up your social media and get it perfect. No such thing, but get it going to target your niche. Let's say you had 100 people in your specific niche following you. What's holding them back from saying yes? Is it that they feel they need permission from a spouse? Is it they feel they don't have the money? Is it they're an ingredients person? Is it they don't believe in network marketing? Like, what is stopping them from signing up with you? Write all of these things down, because when you know this, you guys are able to create content about it in your content, in your on your Instagram, in your stories. You can speak to it without you. Basically, you're overcoming their objections without them having to ask you. Like, when people say, for example, if it's price, you can start, I'm going to teach you your ratios, but you can start to say, look, I thought this was expensive too. I can't believe how much money I've saved. And then you start to show comparison of eating out versus buying Isagenix, so you really start to niche down and target all of your content to these things. Does this make sense? Following? Awesome. Okay. Okay. And how many of you, this excites me for you guys to really dive into, and I'll post these slides in the group, you guys. But here's what I hear so often. I feel salesy. I can't do this. I feel gross. Like, have any of you ever felt like you feel gross or salesy or whatever? If you have, it's because you've forgotten how incredible it is to offer what we have. It's because you don't believe that you can help change someone. Okay. When you believe that, like I believe without a doubt, I can help people earn as much money as they are willing to work for, 100%. Okay. I believe that I can help someone drop 10 pounds give me 2 weeks, and you follow what I tell you to. Like, I believe that wholeheartedly. So if you ever feel salesy, or you're scared to talk about this because you have imposter syndrome and you think, how can I help anyone make $1 million when I'm not even cycling 1 time a month? Okay. We've all been there. We all start as one spot in the tree. We all have to go consultant, me included, every millionaire, everyone. We've all had to start from the bottom. So here's the thing, you guys, look at these questions. This is really going to help you realize, when you sit down and do this, what you have and the transformation you can gift someone. So think about what it is that you're wanting to offer people: financial, weight loss, weight gain, whatever it is, right? In Isagenix what it is we offer. What does your ideal customer have before joining you? Write it down. What do they have? Do they have excess weight? Do they have debt? Do they have, a lack of confidence? Like, think about the specific thing that your person has, okay? And then I want you to write down the contrast to that. What do they have after joining you? And you're going to start to paint your own freaking vision. I get so fired up about this. You're going to start to paint your own vision of what it is you do. That's what we're unraveling right now, right this moment. What does your person feel? What are they feeling before joining you? Write it down. What are they feeling? Those thoughts in their head at night, those frustrations that you wrote down, like, what is the feeling? Because here's the thing, you guys, companies sell products to external problems like weight loss, yay, lose 10 pounds. That does not hit anyone. People buy products to internal frustrations. They don't buy a product for an external problem. They're actually purchasing something to an internal frustration that they're dealing with inside their head. They don't walk around telling people, they're like, I want to lose 10 pounds. They don't say, I lie in bed at night and cry because I can't fit my jeans and I have nothing to wear, or I get so angry in my closet every day when I have to get dressed because nothing looks good on me. Barely anyone walks around saying that. They're just like, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? But you have to think about getting in their head. So what do they feel before joining you? What do they feel after joining you, after you give them that result? What is their average day like before? Write it down. Does anything change for their average day after joining you? Is it simple now? They have easy nutrition. What is their situation like? What is their situation like after? So whether you're targeting products or finances, obviously make it your own. You know, their situation's going to look way different if they join you for the compensation plan. Is this helping you see? So now what I want you guys to do is look back on that list. That's what you give people. Everyone wants a transformation. Everyone wants a transformation. That's what you do. What you just wrote, that's what you help people have. You should be freaking proud, okay? So put it in the chat. What's the one problem you solve? The one problem. Is it, I help people lose 10 pounds. I help people gain 5 pounds. I help people pay off their debt. I help people save for a travel fund. What is the one problem you solve? I help people create freedom in their choices. Love it. We're going to get more specific because freedom looks so different, right, to different people. So I would love for you, I love it, Whit. I want you to get even more. When you say freedom, what does it mean? I help people get fit, fab, and financially free. Awesome. I want you to think about the one problem. One. Help solve guilt. Hang on. It's moving so fast, you guys. It's awesome. Help solve guilt when they're taking care of themselves. I love that. So the shame around self-love. Find convenience in their busy days. Love it, Emily. I'm going to challenge you again. Like when you say convenience, again, that's going to look so different. Is it convenience with food? Is it convenience with finances? Like, let's get super clear. Middle-aged women have energy and fitness. That's really good. So clear. Okay, awesome. And you need to keep working through it. Yeah. And this is where you're going to start, you guys. And I'm going to coach you because I want you to leave this call with like, at least if not your ideal customer, so much more clarity around what you need to do to get there. I help 18 to 35-year-olds break away from the overload of the 9 to 5 without the payout they deserve. I help the 9 to 5 without the payout they deserve. No meal prepping and convenience in their busy schedules. And yes, awesome. Okay, so you guys are getting clearer on what it is you do. So when you go back and you look at what do they have before joining me, all of you can say, okay, then this is what it looks like before they've joined me. And this is what I promise you're going to get with me if you join me, when you join me. So you all want to have that promise, right? And you can talk about it on your stories and say, look, it's like, that is your brand promise, you guys. I mean, they have to do the work, but you're promising, give me 14 days, give me 6 months, give me a year, whatever it is, for what it is you offer. So now what I want you to do is, and some of you have done this because I know we've done this before. I help type of person create type of result. So here's some examples. I don't know if these are super small for you guys. You know what? Maybe, yeah, I'll be posting this, but let me give you some examples. I'm just going to read these out. Busy moms, driven ladies, bros, corporate women, surfer dudes, gym rats, female entrepreneurs, mamas with lots of kids, young professionals, college students, smart guys, young families, military families, tired mamas, overworked dads, stay-at-home moms, micro influencers, powerlifters, crossfitters, postpartum women. Examples. You could have your own, but see how, like, you know, that type of person, like it's a specific, Okay. And then type of result. If it's a physical result, here are some examples. Gain lean muscle mass, drop 10 pounds in 14 days, fit back in their skinny jeans, reclaim their bod, get healthy and feel energized, ditch the coffee and feel amazing, enjoy shopping for clothes again, feel body confident in 2 weeks, shred for competition week, get in the best shape of their life. So just some examples. Okay, again, you could have something completely different. Financial, earn 100K in 12 months, earn more from their phone than they do in their job, graduate debt-free, become financially independent, pay off all debt, travel together more, set up a steady stream of weekly cash flow. So you kind of draw lines, right? Like you pick from column on the left and you pick from one on the right, or you write your own. But basically, this is it. So I help type of person, have, earn, do, be, type of result. Okay. And then you can even flesh that out more with how to do that. So I'm going to show you what mine is. So type of person, go-getter women, driven women, whatever. Type of result, massive cash flow. That's the result. Type of action, in 1 hour a day. And I changed this just to screen grab. Okay. So you can think like what yours is. So it might be like, I help stay-at-home moms pay off their debt in 12 months, in 1 hour a day, in this or that, right? Whatever it is. So you can make your own. And I know some of you did, like Caroline, she's got hers pretty much nailed. Okay. So keep working on that, you guys, until you get so clear on your niche, the kind of person you help, so that as soon as people come to your Instagram, they know this is what they do. And on your Facebook, you guys, when you look at your, my phone, when you look at your wall, you know how it gives you a spot to write something? Remember I said Facebook is used way more than Instagram. So up the top, underneath, you can put it there. And mine's old. I haven't updated it, but it says helping people just like you become wildly successful on a part-time basis from home. So I can clean that up. It's not clear enough. So converting your niche into content. So now you have your niche. Now what? Like, okay, so I know who my target market is. Now what do I do? So the first thing that you do is, now you know where they hang out and where they are, because you told me what they like to do in their spare time. So that's where you're going to go prospect and find them, first of all. Or you're going to look for events in Facebook groups and see, what's going on in that realm, so that you can go and meet them. Okay. But this is how you turn it into content for your social media. So you have their pleasure, their pain, and their objections. That alone is going to give you so much to talk about. Like if you get a whiteboard and you just write down, or even a piece of paper, and you just write down those things, and you're like, this week, all week, I'm going to talk about price. I'm going to talk about it all week. It doesn't mean that's all you talk about, but you're being clear all week and talking about one thing. Clarity is so important. So your job on your social media is to vision cast what it would be like when they join you. Here's the thing. A lot of the times we hide behind other people's success in this business. We think it's easier to share things. We think it's easier to like push someone else in front of our people. It's not going to work. And I'll tell you why. Like 3-way calls will work. But at the end of the day, you want people to join you. They're not wanting to join someone else. You want them to join you. So if you want them to join you, then you need to get really clear on your messaging, your vision, your brand promise, what you promise people are going to have when they join you. So you're going to vision cast for people what it will be like when they join you. You're going to show them the pain of staying right where they are. And that's when you say things like, oh, you could stay where you are and be in the same place a year from now. You're going to make them feel smart for joining you. Train your audience to respond to you. I'm going to give you guys some examples of these, and picture their dream day if they work with you versus if they don't, and help them see that. That's your job on social media. And this is what she's asking when she comes to your Instagram page or when she's following you. Do I trust her? Do I trust Natalie? Like, do I know her well enough? Do I trust her? Will what she does work for me? Like, will it work for me? Okay, this is what they're asking. What is it that she does? What is it that she offers? And has this worked for anyone else? Has it worked for anyone else? So I'm going to show you guys how to do all of this without actually having to have this conversation, okay? And here are some tips. So speak to one problem or frustration. And I find it so easy when you're writing content, when you're writing a status, it's so easy. Like you get an idea and then it starts in with more and more and more things. Reread what you're writing or post it in the group. I'm going to challenge all of you guys, post it in our team page and ask people to give you feedback, because that's the only way you can get better, right? Any of us is like, we should be so stoked that we have other people to help us, like a mastermind. Okay. So speak to one problem or frustration per post and almost all the time, right? You know the solution you offer. So that's what you're going to talk about when you're talking about problems and solutions. You're going to filter everything for her. Be clear, don't confuse them. Make it super easy to join you guys. And I know this is where it's really important. Like when you have a system of enrollment, so from the time that someone taps on your poll to the time of enrollment, what is your process? Are you making it so hard for them? Because I'll tell you, nowadays, people just want to buy like that. Like they just are like, can I just check out somewhere? Like, where do I buy this? So just be careful that you're not losing people in your enrollment process from taking it from get in quick. Cass says, like, you should be able to enroll them right away, that moment. Because here's the other thing too, if you leave it, if you're like, I'm going to get back to all my poll responses tomorrow, the minute that someone taps on something, they're feeling a vibe, they're in a mood. You wait until tomorrow, they're fine now, they don't need help, they're good, they change their mind. You've got to, like, they're in an emotional state. That's the whole point. People buy with emotion, right? So you need to be able to be there and available. I mean, and here's the thing, I'm not saying like you should be on your phone all the time. I'm not saying that. What I am saying though is make sure that you're aware of when people are, respond to them in a timely manner and you create urgency around their response to you. Yeah, exactly. I always say it's like bungee jumping. It's like they want to bungee jump. They're like, I want to bungee jump. That's me. And you're the person that when they're holding onto the edge, like, hold on a second, I don't think I want to do this anymore. You're like, you got this, girl. Let's go. Let's jump. You wanted this. You're going to do this. You're going to feel phenomenal once it's done. Let's do it. I got you. You're that person on the bungee jumping platform. That's you. That's how I always think of myself. It's not pushy. It's not salesy, because I know their transformation, right? I know what's going to happen. I know that I'm not going to just like leave them. I'm going to figure it out. And for those of you guys who are new and you're like, I don't know how to have the auto ship conversation. I don't know. I remember all of you guys, like the stories, all of my customers in the beginning who I didn't even know that were getting an auto ship. My friends were like so pissed. So like, I didn't know how to do all that stuff. I just want you learn as you go. You're not meant to know everything. You're never going to be ready. So just go, and you're that person that's like, all right, let's go. I got you. Let's do this. Everyone needs someone to tell them what to do. They're waiting for you to tell them what to do. You just need to tell them, okay, we're going to get you started on a pack. What pack? Let's go. So make it easy for them to join you. Be their guide. You're the facilitator. Make them the hero. If you're making it all about you, like, I'm so amazing, oh my gosh, like, no, like, you are so amazing for doing this. I'm freaking stoked for you. I'm so proud of you for doing this and stepping up. Make them feel heard. Make them the hero of their own story. It's not us. We are literally the messenger. We know Isagenix. We're looking for the people, and we're just marrying the two together all the time. That's all we do. That's why it's residual income. And then on your social, reveal more about yourself, your journey, and your story constantly. Like, the amount of times that I've heard my friends and other successful people in Isagenix's story, it's annoying. But the thing is, we constantly share it. 1, it's going to change. 2, you're going to have new people all the time. 3, people are going to be like, it's going to sit differently on them. It's all about timing. You might say, all right, Nat, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go on my stories and I'm going to talk about the financial opportunity. And then you come back tomorrow and you're like, no one tapped on my poll. No one said anything. I'm never doing that again. Okay, well, you need to understand it's not about you. It's about them being ready. That's why we just constantly talk about it, because you're going to fill your funnel so that people are like, you know what? She's talked about this for a year now. It's legit. She didn't quit. It wasn't one of those things like I see everyone else do and then leave. She's still there. There must be something to it. Now's my time, or something like that. So I hope this all makes sense to you guys. That's what, when we say consistency, that's why. Because do you think Victoria's Secret would be like, oh, you know what? We didn't make a lot of sales from this last promotion. So let's just like, we're not going to advertise anymore. Let's just close. Because no, that's not how business works. They're like, okay, let's keep going. Let's say it differently. Let's get better. What to say so that you can make a sale. People buy from who they know, like, and trust. 100% know, like, and trust. How to build trust. Consistently show up. Consistently show up. Add resonance. I'm going to teach you guys what that is if you don't know. Social proof and using a call to action. So resonance is going to sound different depending on your target market. For me, I use these kinds of things. It's adding relatability into your posts. So something like, you feel me? Am I the only one? Can I get an amen? Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Am I right? Resonance. So you want to be adding that kind of stuff in according to your target market. It's going to sound different for everyone, but you need to be adding resonance in because it's relatable. It's when it makes people come back into their body and they're like, oh, like someone asked me a question, because that's the whole point. Social media isn't there for us to like use as an announcement, like announcing information. It's there to build relationships in this business and create dialogue with our ideal customer. So are you creating dialogue? Because a lot of the times what can happen is people want to promote themselves so much that they don't leave room for their followers or a relationship. And so if you're finding that you're not getting a lot of interaction, it might be that you're not creating a space where people feel like they can interact with you, and it's more like you on a soapbox just kind of talking about all of the things you've done, which is great, but not leaving enough room for them to feel like they can be a part of whatever it is you're doing. Okay, and then a call to action. So once a week, you guys want to be doing a power post, like join now, sign up, join my team, like let me, DM me now, like bold. So once a week, you want to have a bold post that's a call to action for joining your solution, your one solution. Okay, only once a week. But you are going to have call to actions in lots of your content, which is like swipe left to see what happened, or my before and not before and after in your transformation, just Instagram versus real life, or comment below with your tips. You guys, I really need help. People love to give their opinion. Anytime you can give them the opportunity to give their opinion or talk, like, have you guys seen that post that's going around that's like, tell me something that tell me a story about yourself that I would think is a lie, kind of thing. Give people the opportunity to come and like comment and interact with you constantly. You want them to literally take a physical action when they're on your platform, whether they're tapping polls, whether they're swiping left to see the other photos, whether they're commenting, double tap this, so constantly doing things like that. And then once a week, it's not going to be like join me, but that kind of post. Okay. And then social proof. This is my absolute favorite thing to do on my stories because I feel like it's the easiest thing and it's so fun. Especially for all the haters, just kidding, but really you're going to love doing social proof. So social proof, I personally like to keep, if you guys have seen mine, it's like super, what I would call messy. It's screenshots of DMs, it's screen recordings, it's, with like circles around it. And like, it gets really, really, like I said, I say messy, real, whatever you want to call it. So screenshots of your pay, photos of transformations, screenshots of texts or DMs when someone's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling amazing. Like screenshot that. Get with it. Don't lie and fabricate anything, you guys. This opportunity, your results are perfectly fine. Just like you are enough. And if you're feeling like I only make this much and I need to be making this before I can help people. That's not true. That's called imposter syndrome, where you need to realize, well, hang on, if I want to cycle twice a week, I need to help 2 people cycle once. Well, it's the same. If I want to make $20,000 a week, I need to help 2 people make 10. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's the same concept. It's numbers. So social proof all the time, what you're doing, your results are enough, and share your results. Okay. And you can always do like text between people and be like, hey, will you text me? Like there's been times when I've been on the phone and people have called me in tears saying, I got paid this much. I can't believe it. I'm like, will you text me that? Because I want to screenshot it and show, right? So you can always have that too. Content ratios, how you should be doing your content. So 60%, and we've done trainings on this, 60% you want to be your lifestyle, real life, real things. You shouldn't have to think too much about it. It's whatever you're doing that day. And if you're not doing anything, change it. You need to be doing stuff with your life. 60% lifestyle. So 6 out of 10 posts. 39% are going to be educating people. So this is where 4 out of 10 posts are going to be addressing those things we talked about. It's going to be an objection post. It's going to be a pain post or a pleasure post. But you're going to split it up in between those 6. And then I put 1% booty shots. Okay. What I mean by that is, if you're someone that likes to do by all means, do whatever you want to do. If you're like just wanting to post like inspirational photo with like a little emoji, that's fine. You do kind of have to earn that for people to be cool with it on your feed. Like just like an inspirational or like some kind of Instagram, pun, whatever, play on words, and just a photo of you is totally fine. I would say 1 out of 10 at most. But again, that's something that has to be earned. The point of what you're doing right now is building relevance and for people to trust that you know what you're talking about. And so, I'll give you guys an example of how I get data for my posts. So say if I want to talk about finances, guess what I do? I go Google information about current finances with people in my demographic, and I literally rewrite, or I'll be like, I read this in a thing, or I'll just copy it and paste some of it into my post, and I talk about it. So if you don't know how to look like you're an expert in your field, if you want to know about weight loss, Google it, get some information and use that. You have to be, what would you do if you want to be seen as the expert in your field? Okay, in the solution that you offer, you need to go get information, get data. That's when people are like, oh, snap, that girl knows what she's talking about. Like she sounds like she knows what she's talking about. And just remember too, you guys, when you copy and paste stuff on your Facebook too, and even on Instagram, like the algorithm is you're not going to be seen as much. So like fresh content is definitely going to help you. So we covered what a niche is, the most important foundation of your business, how to identify and personify your ideal client, what drives them both in pain and pleasure, what's holding them back from joining you, how to target your ideal customer with content using attraction marketing, and your ratios. There's so much more. Like this is just a basic, you guys, but something else that you want to do on your Instagram is set up your highlights. For whatever it is, like if you're offering, regardless, even if you're talking about the money, you definitely should have a highlight for transformation before and after bodies. Okay. You definitely should have a highlight for your team and people on the team and snapshots of pay and finances. Like you definitely want to have these up there so that when people come to your screen, and they look at you, they know exactly what it is you do, and you come across as an authority in that field. You definitely want to stay humble and relatable because you want people to reach out to you. The goal isn't to be seen as some like guru in that field, because then people are just going to watch you and think that they can't join you. The point is to be relatable. The point is to be yourself. And so often we're trained, right, to be a certain way in a job. We have to be professional. Yes, you have to be professional in this, but not in the way that you're thinking. Like you have to be professional, that you're going to help people and you're going to do this the right way, but You speak using your voice. You speak saying the things you want to say. So I hope that helps. Any questions with your niches? Okay, here's something I'll give you guys. So 4 out of 10 posts establishing a relationship, sharing your personality. 1 post on the logic, establishing credibility on why people should join you. Okay. And a lot of that can be it will be drawing on your past experience. A lot of people think, well, I'm new to this, but you don't realize the skills that you've learned elsewhere outside of Isagenix. What are those skills that help you in this? Like, I've done retail sales. That helps me so much with business knowledge. Have you always been a social butterfly? Are you at the gym? Like, what is your knowledge? Have you taught finances? What do you need to draw on that and tell people who you are, because they don't know. 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10 posts addressing the results that you're going to get, people are going to get when joining you, and the reality of 0 results if you don't. And one of them once a week, or 1 out of 10, is going to be that call to action: join my team. I've got a spot for you. Message me now. And then 2 out of 10 are going to be talking about their frustration. So remember, you're not an overnight nutritionist. You're not an overnight expert in whatever. None of us are. What makes people want to join us is that we are regular, schmegular, everyday people who have an incredible vehicle that anyone can do this. Anyone. Okay. So remember the frustrations. Like, I think you guys, that's just such a key, because we can focus so much on the external solution that we offer that we often forget to share. And you'll find that's when you're vulnerable, that's when people are like, oh snap, like, I'm not the only one. And when you're talking about the things that you're embarrassed about and you have shame about, and I mean really, 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 that's when people are going to come out of the woodwork and really respect and feel that they do relate to you. So I hope that was of value to you guys. I would love to know if you guys have any questions or added comments, or anything that you want to know or would like, help with on your specific. Does anyone want open coaching in front of everyone if you're not quite clear on what your niche is and you want some help while we're all here together? I'm going to challenge all of you to take a snapshot and post it in the group, and let's all help each other. Okay, let's all help each other do that, because you guys all know this now. You came to the training. You can turn around and train it. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you guys found it. I wasn't going to do it today because I was sick, but I'm like, no, like, I'm super passionate about helping you guys get this. And I haven't trained on social media in a long time. Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, awesome. Cass, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you. So much juice on here. I remember I had a call with Kayla a couple years ago, Kayla Craft, exactly on figuring out my niche. And I noticed that when I was writing to that person, I did start to gain a lot more followers and things like that, and people engaging in my stuff. But just quickly, like, on all the content which Nat has spoken about, it's really, really, really important to have like a good image, like as in like a photo. And I just wanted to remind you just to keep them crisp and try your hardest. And if there's no one around, like no children around, no husband, like whatever, to take your photo, you can do self-timed photos. But there's also a really good app I want to tell you guys all to download, because these days people are liking having like a vibe on their page. Perhaps it means like all the photos are the same style or same color. It's called a preset, if you didn't know that. There's an app called Color Tone, spelt like the Australian way with the color with a U in it. I'll write it in here, but make sure you guys download it. It's a really good one if you're unsure of, what you're wanting to do. It just helps you, I guess, like make it a bit warmer, like what you're putting out there. So I just wanted to like reiterate, like the content is so important, but also your pictures are to captivate and like bring people in. And it's really cool to use the same preset on all your photos. Looks really nice. Very pleasing for your eye.
Cass is the photo queen. So she's the posing queen too. So if you guys have questions, remember this. just because you might go to her page and think, oh my gosh, like my demographic is so different, it doesn't mean that the same principles apply. Like she said, having a clear photo, having a color, you know, maybe there's a color that you want to have in, you know, your pictures. What, it doesn't matter. That stuff necessarily doesn't matter, but the quality of photos these days of what people are expecting on Instagram is your highlight reel. And you can talk about that and say, this is my highlight reel and I want it to be that way. Like I'm cool with it, you know? So thank you for saying that. But if you need help or tips, like use our group, you guys, like just post, like, please know it's not just a place to come where I'm like announcing things. Like I want it to be just this, but just in text. So you can be like, tag a photo of yourself, post it in there and say, Cass, like give me some feedback, you know, because you taking feedback in front of everyone is going to help everyone else too. So, and stories.
Can I jump in too?
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I was having really bad reception, but I wanted to share, I love this because this is the area I'm always trying to pick Nat's brain. It's just amazing. As well as Cass, sorry. But just for those of you that are like feeling excited and then we get off the call and you feel like, oh snap, and then your focus starts to go to niche and all of that, still keep momentum. And even if your pictures aren't the best right now and you haven't picked out a preset, like don't let that distract you from the most important thing, which Nat said, is like the networking outside. Like while you're building this, don't stop like because I get in that like I get distracted, but keep your basic 3 by 3 by 3, the main action. And then when you have time, then do your social media. So that's just what I wanted to add.
Amen. Thank you so much for saying that. And just so you guys know, I will tell you that when Uy joined, she's like, okay, train me on social media. And I was like, nope, I got nothing to tell you. Like we're doing network marketing. And honestly, I don't train my people a lot on social media, you guys, like if you're enrolled by me, because just like she said, and I'm so glad you brought it up, we are not influencers. Like you have to get that in your mind. You might want to be, and that might be your goal down the road, but building a network marketing business isn't the same as all those micro influencers you see, like swipe up to get my code or whatever. Like we help change lives. We want residual long-term income. Ours is very different business model. So this is 5%. It's not your priority. Your priority is your 3 by 3 by 3. And like, I have a love-hate relationship with social media because of this, because I see so many people like spending so much time and energy on building their brand, which is important. But what now, you know, so like now you know what your niche is. Guess what? Now you know the transformation you offer people. Guess what? When you're at church, when you're at the park, when you're wherever you are and someone says, what do you do? Now you know what you do. I help mums, blah, 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 blah. You know what to say. It's not just this thing that you're going to put up and like disconnect from. It's literally what you do. Your Instagram is just your business card. Okay. But the most important thing you can do, I'm so glad you brought it up, is continue to connect. Every single, you know, most of my enrollments, you guys, and I think Cass would say the same thing. And I think Whitney would say the same thing. And I know Uy would definitely say this, is it's people that we've actually reached out to. We definitely get people who come to us through social media, but they know that we are the real deal because we're doing the action. So I hope that, I don't want you to get paralysis of analysis and get, you know, focused on spending too much time there, but it's definitely something you want to do. You know, it's definitely like another limb in your business, and having your highlights set up, knowing who your target market is very important, because then you can, it's just going to roll off your tongue when you're on the plane coming to New Year's kickoff and the person next to you says, what do you do? You're going to be able to say, you know what I do? Whatever it is. So, and people will be like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Tell me more. And you'll sign them up on the spot. That's what you're going to do. You're going to sign people up on the spot.
Can I quickly chime in?
Yeah.
That reminded me of something. So when Nat was last in Australia, it was 2015. We went to the mall to go shopping and she's like, okay, we are going to have, like, we're so competitive. She's like, we're going to see who can leave here with the most contacts. So I was like, okay, I'm going in this store. Get out of my store, get out of my store. And we had to leave with that person's contact details. Like if you have someone local to you, like, or just you're competitive with yourself like me, do it. It's so fun, but it also trains you. And then you can start to, like, you know, remind yourself of that niche and, you know, what it is that you do. And like, yes, you'll fail. Yes, you'll stuff up. You'll be like, I'm going by, or like I've got a phone call, and you might get nervous, but it's so fun. I just wanted to like put that out there because I remember doing that and it being like such a fun thing. And now it just
So
happens.
fun.
Now I just have those conversations and we just add each other. But it's, you know, in the beginning, it is really good to train yourself, you know, why not?
Thank you for bringing that up. It is so fun. And guess what happens, you guys? Once you have that interaction, you're like, let me add you on Instagram. And then they're going to see you, but you had that real life. They've seen you in person. They know, like, and trust you immediately. It's so much easier and it's so fun. Like that, hearing you say that excites me. Don't ever go to a mall with me, you guys, because I'll be like, okay, so we're going to split up. But I'm so glad this was of value to you guys. Does anyone have any questions or comments or anything else you want to say or share?